All right, it's the fastest 15 minutes on social media on the internet. My name is Judson Powell. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the the share button, all the buttons. Just hit buttons. All right. I want to talk to you about. I haven't been doing a lot of stuff about Trump, just because it's like he's so like confused about a lot of stuff, and so I just don't really talk about him a lot because most of the things that he does don't even need any type of explanation. But there is one phenomenon that is like caught my attention, and it's the fact that there are a lot of people that are actually still supporting him. And so I kind of want to give a little clarification on why people are actually still supporting him. So now, when you really think about it, okay, first of all, we look and we say, oh, all of these CEOs or whatever whose companies and corporations actually are supporting Trump. Well, why are they supporting it? Well, you got to look at the facts, okay? And the fact is that tax cut that got passed right after Trump got into office, it made them very, very, very wealthy. All right. Just think, if you're already not paying your fair share of taxes and then somebody cuts that by another 30% or more and gives you other things that you can write off in association with your business, then you're happy for that. You're gonna support that. So the reason why, and this may be an unpopular opinion, but the reason why these CEOs and heads of large corporations are supporting Trump is because they're making a lot of money. I don't really think it's racism, and even though I think that some of the boycott should be in place, but especially for those people who have come out as racist or have been found out to be racist, that's a different story. But some of these people, they're just supporting Trump because he's putting cash in their pockets. He's lining their pockets, and that tax cut is what did it. So we can't really, be upset with them because this man actually helped their corporations, because they're not going to give that. You think they're going to give that money back, because Trump is a racist? No, they're not going to give that money back. They could care less what Trump is. All they're happy about, look, and I've been using the boo-boo the fool term a lot lately, but look, if boo-boo the fool gave them the tax cut, they would be supporting boo-boo the fool and not Trump. So remember that a lot of it has to do with straight economics, straight money back in their pockets, and that's what a lot of it is really just all about. Okay, the second group of people that are supporting him are racist. All right, so he's got a bunch of people that are just angry, loud, obnoxious, just racist people that are supporting him, because that's what they are. They're racist. They're white supremacists. They hate everybody that's coming in the country. And so what's happening is he's using that as a way, basically, to put a wedge in between everybody in the country. But it's the oldest trick in the book: divide and conquer. So you get half of the people, and most people are like, if you ask 10 people, 8 people are going to say that Trump is a butthole. The other 2 people, they're buttholes themselves, so they're going to go along with whatever Trump says. So you got to understand, all of this is based on, and then the problem with that is, let me clarify a little bit more. The problem with that is that he is pointing to the racist agenda, but then he turns around and he says stuff like, I've done more for the black community than anybody, and I've done this and I've done that for the black community. But really, in actuality and in reality, he has not. Why? Because even that tax cut that I just got, the aforementioned tax cut that I just got finished talking about, well, guess who ends up paying for it? The middle class, the poor, and the people that really don't have money, because you still got to run the government. You still got, you still have to find a way to finance all of the things that are going down and that are happening in the government. Well, without that 30% that the businesses were putting in, you don't have it. And the other thing is the ability. It is not just the 30% because there's other things that are now available to them to write off on their taxes. So, for example, now I can fly, my jet, and I can write off the jet fuel and write off the cost to lease the jet and do all this other stuff so that I can do business and live an extravagant lifestyle. And, so the average everyday Joe ain't going to have that opportunity. All right. The other thing is, then the other thing is he also uses the race card once again to divide people because remember this. And this is something, and I thought about this, and my uncle and my dad used to say this all the time. He was like, he's like, rich white people ain't really racist. And I know you may not agree with that, but it's true. Rich white people ain't really racist. They don't care. They like because you're not going to be in their neighborhood. You ain't going to be near their house. You ain't, you can't afford to drive the cars they drive. You can't wear the clothes they wear. All of that kind of stuff. It's like, so they really don't care. They have, or it's really all about money. And I say this all the time. If Oprah or Michael Jordan walks into to an all white 5-star restaurant, you think they're going to get thrown out? No. They're going to serve them. In fact, they're probably going to take pictures with them and do everything else. So a lot of it has to do with socioeconomic status and all of those type of things. That's really what it really all boils down to. So that's why people still support Trump. They support him because, okay, he's racist enough for the racists, but he realizes that those business people are the ones that's going to keep him in office because in the final analysis, guess what? They're going to put up money so that he can run a good campaign and possibly win again. Okay, because wouldn't you? Just like everybody got mad at Bob Johnson, the former owner of BET, because he said he liked Trump. But the reason why he likes Trump is because he's got a lot of investments. He's got a lot of money floating around out there, and he's a businessman. So it only makes sense for him to back Trump. It would be dumb for him not to. So when it comes down to who's ready to do something for racism or whatever, nobody's going to step up for racism against making millions, maybe even billions of dollars. They're not going to step up for that, because they could care less. Because what? Because they greedy and they want money. That's the bottom line to the whole thing. Okay, and then the final set of constituents that that people don't want me to talk about either is that there are some people that are just idiots. They're just dumb. They have no clue. They don't know what's going on. So they just and these are the people who vote for Trump against their own best interest. And I don't want to, but there are certain ethnic groups out there that vote for Trump, and they vote for Trump, on a consistent, they have voted for him on a consistent basis ever since he started running, and it's because they don't have a clue. It's like they really don't have a clue. So they vote for him against their own best interest. There are people who have been, let's just say there are people that have been deported from the United States of America because of Trump politics, because of Trump administration politics. And a lot of those people voted for him. So it doesn't, a lot of times it doesn't even cut. And he's not that smart in the fact that why would you do something that's detrimental to your constituency? So it kind of works both ways. It's like a push and pull kind of deal. It's like, well, they voted for him, and now all of a sudden you're on a plane going back to where you came from, but you helped him to get elected. And then finally you have like his core constituency, which is like the poor, the poor disenfranchised white man. So the poor and we were talking about this in the car the other day. It's like the poor disenfranchised white man has really I don't think really nobody really cares about him. It's like and so Trump kind of reached out to them and kind of because And my dad, God rest his soul, I gotta bring him up again. But he used to always say that. He used to be like, ain't nothing worse than a sorry white man, because you got white privilege, you got white supremacy, you got all these things that you can get, that you can do, but yet and still, why are you poor, broke, and lonely? It makes no sense. Where you have every opportunity in the world. Now, for other people, it's a little bit different story, because they have these obstacles. They have systemic racism. They have poverty. They have poor education. They have all of these different things that they can look at and say, well, this is a root cause of why I'm not doing well. But when you're a white man in America and you're doing poorly, then you gotta, let's go to Michael Jackson. You gotta start off with the man in the mirror, because it ain't nobody else out there that you can really say, oh, this person did this or this person did that. And so, but Trump appeals to them, because he's like their friend, and then finally the old disenfranchised white person who thinks that they're gonna bring coal mining, steel mills and all this stuff back, from the 60s and 70s, but it's never going to happen, because there are cheaper, more efficient ways to get energy than what he says he's going to do for them. But if you notice, everything that they try to do, especially in the coal industry, they've tried to open coal plants over the last few years, and every single one of them has closed back down or has failed. All right, and I'm just saying that's just a fact of life, because we have so many other alternative forms of energy, and they even try to do away. And the reason why all of this stuff with global warming and the whole thing with the environment and everything, the reason why none of that stuff is going through is because they want to keep it wide open. Why? For the fossil fuel people. Because they got big money. They got big money. They got big dogs in the game. So they're going to keep that stuff open for them forever, or they're going to try to. But right now, it doesn't even make economic sense. And as a matter of national defense, just like what happened in Puerto Rico, when the whole grid went down, and it's likely it can happen anywhere. It's not just there. There can be a natural disaster, and a grid in a city could be destroyed instantaneously. So knowing that that's a fact, that's a national defense issue. So knowing that that's a fact, you have to make these grids so that they can sustain, substantial damage and still get back online in a relatively short amount of time. But we're not doing that. And one wind power, it makes no sense that you got places where you got wind all day, every day, but you don't have windmills. Or you got places like where I live in Arizona or in Colorado and stuff like that, where you got endless hours of sunlight every day, and the sun shines every day. I realize there are places that are not like that, but in the areas that are out here in the Southwest, they need to have, everything needs to be running on solar. Why isn't it? Because big money talks. And once again, that's why people keep voting for Trump. So don't think that because it's not all racism. It really isn't. It's not. They're not out there trying to build Confederate monuments or marching down the street with Confederate flags. That's where I used to live, where they used to fly the Confederate flag off the back of the truck, and they go down to the thing and make a reenactment of the Civil War and all this. I guess in the reenactments they win. They actually win. But whatever they do, the bottom line is that that's why people end up voting for Trump, because he reaches out to people that nobody else will reach out to, and we have to realize that. And whatever the Democrats decide to do, so that's my new thing. I'm not going to criticize any more Democrats unless they just do something that's like, idiotic. But whoever wins the nomination, I'm going to vote for him. I'm going to just say, whoever wins the nomination, I'm gonna vote for him. So vote blue, no matter who. That's my slogan. Vote blue, no matter who. Vote blue, no matter who. All right. Anyway, I gotta go. That's the fastest 15 minutes on the internet and on social media. My name is Judson Powell. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I'll see you next time.